Lovely song.
What a great song.
What a great song. And he'll explain tomorrow night his true story. There you go. Well, 2 o'clock this morning, my iPhone 6 Plus starts ringing, ding, and ding. And I was up. I didn't feel good. My shoulder, they're now saying I have a fractured collarbone. So anyway, but that's besides the point. I was really in pain this morning, and I'm hearing my phone ding, 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 and I look at it, and it's a disc jockey from New Jersey, and he wants to interview me, about how we interview the big stars.
I think that would be a great interview.
Okay. My career goes 45 years, yes, and I was at Woodstock, yes. But, as far as talking to all these stars and things, a lot of these personalities, radio personalities, have this air about themselves, that, well, I'm on radio, I'm on TV, blah, Well, I shovel crap more than other people do. And I go to the bathroom same as them. But Joe Niagara from Wibbage said to me when I started my career in '69, he said to me, Ned, be humble to the stars you will interview one day. Be humble to the listeners that are listening to you, because both of them could make you or break you. And I have kept that all my life. And as I broke people in radio, guy like Craig Stevens and the rest of them, that are on now on, corporate radio and commercial radio. I've told them, be humble, don't put yourself above anybody else. You're just a messenger. And that's what I have always theorized myself as, a messenger. I play the music for you. I'm not above you. I'm the same as you.
I feel pretty much the same way when I do my shows. I take the ego and put it in the back pocket. You gotta put the ego in the back pocket. Exactly. You never know. No two shows that I do, for example, are ever alike, alike, because I work on requests. Because somewhere God gave me the talent, the God-given talent for 25,000 songs up here.
Boy, I tell you what, you have more than my hard drive.
Well,
my floppy disk looks at the hard drive and starts shaking.
I no longer read.
So I'm going to drag you along to every show.
Yeah, it would.
I'll plug an SBU port somewhere.
Okay, drag me. It would definitely be a drag working with you. Okay. But you got to be quick in this business. And
you do.
I just enjoy. You know what? A lot of entertainers that are much better than me just do maybe 40 songs at the most, and then they repeat. And everybody's under so much stress. Oh, somebody sent up a song. How can we do it? Yeah, blah blah blah. My advantage is that I'm a one-man band, okay? Excuse me. I have to stand and deliver on every song, and I don't consider that any stress when they write up a song for me. I consider that a challenge instead, okay? Whiter Shade of Pale, Keep Me Hanging On by the Vanilla Fudge, an early Beatles song, a Ricky Nelson over here, Van Morrison over there, Joni James, I got a request to do. Why Don't You Believe Me by Joni James.
And you know that?
Yeah, I happen to know it. Everybody, you have to make them feel that you care. You have to make them feel special.
Well, certainly, and that's definitely it's what makes you a success if you do that. And this is why, like when I do the shows here and stuff, and people call and say, "Can you play this?" Well, this is what my job is. Not only play the songs that I have put up here, and then I'm going to put on the computer and I'm going to play, but they want to hear songs that haven't been heard.
Well, I'm glad you brought that up, because rarely in my life have I ever really considered it a job.
Well,
it's a love-hate thing.
It is. It is. Yes, it can be. It certainly can be. And if you have the wrong people trying to guide you, it can be horrible. It can really be horrible, but that's just the way it is, and your job to have all that music. And I've seen your shows. I go to your shows, and no, not two are the same. I seen at Louis a 70s and 80s crowd
True.
At Gitanos, it's a 50s and 60s crowd. So everywhere you go is a different genre of people that want to hear different songs, and yet you deliver.
And you have to be cued in. You can't space out. You have to be right there.
Yeah, exactly. Do you think a lot of people are right now just wondering, and they're going through their playlist and see let's go to Tommy Zito's concert at Citronia on Saturday.
They probably will. That's right. I'm doing Rosemont on Friday
and
it's Citronia on
Fire
Saturday.
Company, and you don't have to be a member to go. So just go.
There's also one thing, if I might add, that I almost forgot
You may
about.
add.
We have been rehearsing. The group Desire's been rehearsing with me because we're going to be doing a show.
The Molten Lounge.
The Molten Lounge at the Sands Casino, February 10th. Tuesday, February 10th, and I'll 7 to 10. And that date is going to come up quicker than anybody.
Well, sure it is. And I urge you, if you want to get a seat to see these people,
get it
and
early.
to see you better come early. I'm talking 5 o'clock. You better be there.
Now, keep in mind that the Sands policy is that they want live musicians to back up the singers. That's their policy. Okay. For example, I can't. I'm not allowed to do Tommy Zito. I can't play Tommy Zito at the Sands because their policy is they do not have one-man bands playing there. If I had,
and that's their loss.
Well, hey, listen.
Maybe they're watching. That's your loss.
Listen, don't start.
Oh, I know.
I have enough problems. I could probably fill the Molten Lounge with just my relatives from Bangor, Penargil, and Rosetto.
There you go. There you go.
But be that as it may, Desire hired the 4 of us to back them up that night. So what you're going to see is some great doo-wop singers in the front line, as it were, and the 4 of us,
the band
in
the back,
backing them up.
There you go. Can't beat that at all.
That's going to be a good night.
It's going to be a good night, and I do again urge you, go early if you want to get a seat, a table, or whatever. Okay? Anything else?
No, I'm just.
How about if we go back to the year 1964, the beginnings, pretty much the beginnings of the British invasion.
Okay.
God has given us light again out there. And Dave Clark 5.
Oh, one of my favorites.
One of your favorites and mine. And a little story about the Dave Clark 5. You heard the Walker Brothers.
Sure did.
They, as all these people were coming to America to sing, Walker Brothers decided, we're going to be the American version over there. And they made a success over there.
Yeah, Charlie Gracie was also a success.
Yes.
Over there.
You didn't really hear much about Charlie Gracie here. I mean, 1 or 2 songs. That's about it.
It's true.
But over there, in England and Germany, he was big. He was
Absolutely.
really big. So it was kind of funny back in those days, and since we're in the first decade of rock and roll, that you would have Americans going over there to create their invasion. And they did well. Scott Walker, oh my God, they had some really good music over there. Welcome. But Dave Clark 5 came here, and one of their first big hits was this one. Whoa! There you go. All righty, my friends. Dave Clark 5 in 64.
Wow.
That music really was kind of ahead of its time. You would kind of put that kind of music towards the late 60s.
Yeah, some of it, yeah.
It sounded like, like a Tommy James and the Shondells, which was late 60s
Yeah,
stuff.
a little moany kind of feel.
Yeah, little stuff like that. You talked about Sally Starr.
Oh, Sally, our gal Sal.
Our gal Sal. How many of you remember watching her and some of the cartoons that she played?
My wife.
Clutch Cargo.
Oh, with his pals Spinner and Paddlefoot.
Yes.
You know what was strange about that cartoon?
What? He had that big square jaw.
No, not just that. It had human mouths.
Oh, really?
It was one of the first
that.
cartoons to use a special process. That and a thing later on called Space Angel. Now you got me going. The animation was horrible. Clutch Cargo with his pals Spinner and Paddlefoot. And it was an animated Clutch Cargo, but the mouth was a human mouth. Just for those that try to, you can go on YouTube
And
access,
bring that up.
Yes, you could bring some of that up.
All right.
But Sally was something else. She loved my wife, Jan, because they're both, country girls, and Sally really was a country girl. Can I tell a little story?
Sure, tell us. Tell me a little story.
Sally had was part owner of a...
Onalani Park?
No, I meant a radio station in Vineland, in the Vineland, Malaga, New Jersey area.
Really? I never knew that.
And my first group, Uproar. See, for the people that hear the name Tommy Zito, wherever I heard his name before, they see me as a one-man band now. But a lot of people remember me as in the group Uproar, which lasted 13 years, and the group Magnum, which lasted another 13 years also. I went from Uproar right to Magnum without any change whatsoever. The next day I was in the band. It was the craziest thing that ever happened.
But anyway, Sally Starr.
Sally Starr. We did a show. I was promoting the Uproar reunion. And in the booth was Sally Starr, members of the Soul Survivors, Expressway to Your Heart.
Yeah.
Okay. And myself and some of the other members of Uproar. And the panel moderator was Michael Nice, who did work.
NYSE, right?
I think so.
Yeah.
He became the director of the Dancing on Air show in Philly. So he gave us all a question, and it was something like this. I'm just doing this from my recollection. What is the one thing about Philly that you always wondered about? When they asked some of the guys from the the Soul Survivors, they said, something like, we always wondered why they didn't make the Schuylkill Expressway 3 lanes going in, 3 lanes going out. Sally said, I always wondered how many people really loved me. And I said, I'll take that question. I'll answer that. Sally, growing up, Bethlehem, Pennsylvania, we got 3, 6, and 10.
That's right.
All right? And if it snowed, sometimes we got WNEW, Channel 5. But basically 3, 6, and 10. Right before school. Hot Bosco or Coco Marsh, right?
Coco Marsh. Wow. Those are names wow.
Lick-O-Maid, Pez dispensers.
Oh, yeah.
And then she'd have the Three Stooges come on with Popeye cartoons.
Do you know, before you go on, the biggest thing that went on Channel 6, and I'll never forget this because I was totally glued to the TV.
You had a crush on Pixan, didn't you?
Well, no. I had a crush on Sally Starr, let's put it that way.
Okay, because I worry about you if you had a crush on Gene London, but let's
no.
Forget about that.
Or Larry. Now you got me all screwed up here.
The biggest thing that ever happened.
When Sally Starr had the Three Stooges live, Moe, Larry, and Curly, and when Larry came on, his hair was all back, and I looked at, is that really Larry?
Yeah.
Because you always pictured him with his hair out. But everybody, I think that was at that time, everybody excuse me, was glued to that television because you never saw the Three Stooges live.
All right, you want to know something? I want to tell you something that messed me up as a kid real bad. We didn't know anything about videotapes. We were kids. We didn't know anything about taping and overdubbing and anything else. I didn't realize that Curly died in 1952 or something like that. And her show wasn't on then. I saw this guy on that, what they called him Curly Joe. And I said to myself at the age of 8 or 9, well, maybe that's Curly older. I never put 2 and 2 together that Curly had actually passed away and did Chimp. But those are great days.
They did overdub. They did something that had Larry or Curly there.
There is actually one scene in the history of the Three Stooges that has all 4 Stooges in the same
little
15-minute clip. It has something to do with a train car.
So Moe, Larry, Curly, and Shemp.
Yeah.
All together.
Curly has the head, his bowler hat, sleeping and doing his right.
Yeah.
But he let his hair grow out, and you can see Curly with brown. And somebody was sleeping, and Moe just raised his hat over away from Curly's face, and he says, "Oh, something, you got to take care of that snoring." But it was the only time the four.
Wow, they were together 4 times.
It's on YouTube. That YouTube is phenomenal.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
I wish that getting back to the videotapes and the 8mm, I wish I had some of that stuff. I have pictures of me performing with Chief Halftown and at the age of 6 and 7, but I don't have any 8mm movies. So
before we
folks.
move on with the next question, with the next song, let me ask you this.
Sure.
Out of all the songs, the 25,000 that are in this hard drive up here, what is your most favorite song you love to perform that really just rocks you out?
A rocker?
Yeah, a rocker. And then I'll ask you about a slow song. But right now, a rocker.
I'll tell you why I can't honestly answer that. It's because I've been playing for over 50 years.
I understand that, and I've been spinning over 45.
Okay.
But I do have my favorite
All right,
song.
Let me think for a minute. If it was a slow ballad, I'd probably have to go with Unchained Melody. Okay. Not just the Righteous Brothers version, the Al Hibbler version before the Righteous Brothers.
Right.
For a rocker, I'd go with one of the first 2 songs that I ever learned. Bill Haley's Rock Around the Clock, and Great Balls of Fire, Jerry Lee Lewis. What else can you say? Standards. Those are songs that'll never die no matter how old you get.
You know, I have to agree with that. Absolutely. Absolutely got to agree with that. That those songs will never die. Never. Never, 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 ever. You know what? People talk about the Super Bowl that's coming up, and all these people that are performing. Let's face it, The Who was horrible when they did play, and I'll be the first to say it. I don't care. Yeah, that's probably one of them now, putting the lights out there. But I didn't think they were good at all. They had their time when they were good, and bottom line, some people are better in a studio than they are live.
Oh, that's true. How true is that?
That is extremely true. And what I was thinking, and I have emailed Fox Entertainment, who puts all this stuff together, how many times, tell me if I'm wrong, but I would think, and these 3 guys are still living yet, to have these 3 guys on that stage, in that stadium, Jerry Lee Lewis, Chuck Berry, and Little Richard.
Oh my God!
Would that be phenomenal? And bring in Frankie Ford too.
I would. That thought never even crossed my mind.
And I have been emailing them for years. And of course, this.
Yeah.
Did you like disco?
Not really.
Seriously?
Not really. You got to understand. We, as Uproar, we were trying our
Rock
best.
and roll, yeah.
What we tried to do is, we would do, BT Express, or it's whatever things, the Latin Hustle, Van McCoy. We tried to get in with the disco stuff, but that wasn't really my
shtick.
That wasn't really my scene.
So you didn't like it, even though it was awesome music?
Well, I like some of it.
Did you?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. That's good. I'm just testing you.
Well, how about December '63 by Frankie Valli and the Ford? That was.
You know what? I don't like that song.
You don't?
Nope. You won't hear me play it either.
Okay.
I don't like that song.
This is why.
You know what? You know why? And I'll tell you the reason why. I cannot see Frankie Valli in that period of time doing that music.
He didn't sing lead on it. If you want to be honest, really technical about it, he didn't sing lead on it. So
it is, but that's why I'm not crazy about that song. I'm just not.
Okay.
A lot of people ask me, well, what are some of your? Well, why are you so against this or against that? I said because I'm old school. In '69, our oldies were in the 50s, mid 50s. So I like that period from 52 to 69.
I understand. Keep in mind that I'm talking to all the entertainers in that era too, that we had to do some things that
Right.
we personally may not have liked.
I was at
but you had to change a little bit. We had to adapt.
to what was the time period.
I mean, a lot of people wanted the disco in the mid 70s and part of the early 80s, and to survive, we did those songs.
Yeah, I mean, I was at PXN in Secaucus, New Jersey, doing disco. I loved it. I loved that music.
Yeah.
And people say, "Oh, why? We were cool looking. We were cool. The flowered shirt, the emblem, the leisure suits, the leisure suits. That was cool. The white patent shoes. That was cool."
Well, see, I'm telling you, these are just the memories that everybody
Exactly.
takes with them, and you can't take that away from everybody.
No,
That's
no,
it.
No, you can't.
So there you go, pal.
Tommy, it was a certain pleasure to have you here because I see the boss is giving you the evil eye. Time to go. And that's okay.
I do want to
What is she saying out there?
She does.
Hey, Jan, come back here.
She can't hear you.
Well, knock on the window there. Come back here. No, come back
No, she's
here.
not that
She's
kind.
coming.
No, she's not that. She is. She's actually. Oh my goodness.
I'm going to put her on right behind me.
Okay.
Tommy, I just wanted you to remember.
Jan, come right behind.
They can hear you, Janelle.
Will you come back
Thank
here?
people for all the support. that-
Will you come?
They heard that,
Come
Janelle.
behind me here. Will you?
Yes.
Okay.
Are
you two guys?
She's not cable savvy. She doesn't realize that what she says is going to come through the air.
Well,
but I was going to thank the people anyway.
Yes.
For always supporting me through every venue, and
No
still
matter
going
what.
strong because I'm doing what I love.
Jan, don't you dare run away. I'll send the guy out there with the cane and the hook.
Sitting right here.
No, you come over here and get behind me here, and you can say goodbye as well.
They want people to. Okay, Ned actually wants people to see you. Come on out,
Yes,
Dan.
come on.
Come on, just come on over.
Come on over here because you two guys when you
Look at
when
even
you
then she's
sing-
trying to be behind
I know.
a mic.
There.
There you go.
Okay. And you two guys sing a beautiful song together because you're together, for so long. And
Our song should be "Strangers in the Night." That's how long.
Strangers in the night. Anyway, so there you go. Jan, thank you
thank
for
you.
being a part of the show tonight.
Camera's on you, Jan. You might as well just smile.
Camera's on you. Smile.
Okay.
Oh, look.
There she
Bye.
is.
She's going. Okay, we'll let her go, And then you.
Gee, how about that? A woman who doesn't want to be in front of everything.
Yeah,
How about
wow. That's okay. She's all
that?
right.
That's okay. Is right.
She takes care of you. She's your secretary. She's your agent, manager, accountant. She does it all.
And I learned how to tie my shoes without her.
Did you really?
Yeah, I learned.
Good for
Most of the
you.
time, I just wear boots now, though.
You do?
Yeah.
When you coming up to the farm? I need help. I got a bad wing here. We're good at shoveling,
Yes,
we'll shovel the crap up there and talk and, like we normally do. We
Thank
need
you.
to go in the basement right now. It's warmer.
Okay.
Okay.
Fair enough.
Fair enough, my friends. Tommy, thank you very
Thank
much.
you.
I appreciate
And
you coming.
thanks, everybody,
and
for
stopping
tuning in.
there. And come visit your shows. Go on your website for the schedules. Go on Facebook and friend him, Tommy Zito, Jan Tommy Zito, and I'm sure they will accept your request there, and go from there. And you'll be able to see his schedules and go see him.
You got it.
Because we're going to be there as well. Don't forget Friday night. Rosemont Fire Company over there in Bethlehem, as the old Hungarians would say, in the Bethlehem.
Bethlehem.
And Saturday night at Cetronia. And it goes
And then
on
getting
on.
together for the big show at the Molten Lounge.
Molten Lounge, February the 10th, I do believe. Let me see. February 10th will be the Molten Lounge with Desire. And that's Bobby Hepburn's gang.
Yep.
And they fill the joint up. So go early. I'm telling you, go early.
Thanks, everybody. Thanks
All
for
right,
tuning
you
in.
take care, Tommy, and thank you very much. And on the
Thank you,
on the
Ned.
way out, we're going to play you that Del Viking song.
Okay.
Boy, I'll tell you what, people probably have never heard this at all. Are you trying to look at me?
No, I'm just happy.
Are you?
I feel good. I feel good.
Listen to this. He's starting his car. This is not the Del Viking stuff, is it? We're going way back on this one, my friends.
Thanks, everybody.
Take care. We'll be back right after this. Tommy's on his way out. Thank you, Tommy.
You're welcome.
Take care.
Riding along me in my heart's desire.